In the development of scientific research, faith plays a large role between scientists.
So our overall knowledge question that we are going to be researching is, how does faith play a role in the development of new scientific knowledge and research? A certain area of knowledge to look into is faith, and there's also several perspectives we can look into when talking about the new development of medical products being introduced into society.
The real-life situation we'll be talking about is a fictional drug called modafinil, which is shown in the TV series Limitless, shown on CBS, that describes fictional characters, and this superhuman drug does things to people that enhances their brain activity and allows them to show superactive activity, which people then believe can be shown in the public and help them.
Also, looking into ethics, many people will think that introducing this drug into society is rather unethical because it offers an advantage to a lot of the society who is capable of purchasing a drug that is a cognitive enhancer. This drug could also have many different other unethical aspects to it, which we can talk about a little bit later, but one of them definitely is that it offers an advantage to part of the society. It could allow for some people to abuse the drug and offer many opportunities for people to look down upon the rest of society who is not capable of purchasing this superhuman drug. So scientists have to be able to install faith into the new products that they are introducing into society, and that comes along with their own personal knowledge of what they are capable of doing. And the overall idea behind introducing a new topic, a new drug, or a new medical product into society is to overall gain more knowledge on the way the human body works and to enhance the way we live every day. So scientists have to be able to take faith in what they know they can do, what society installs with them as well, and use that to produce a product to overall enhance society in general.
There are three main ways of knowing that we will be discussing. The first being emotion. So emotion is interpreted through people's sense perception, which then allows them to have their own personal beliefs on a subject. So their own personal beliefs in this instance would be with the drug and how they believe that it could help the public. And so that is also communicated through language, which is demonstrated through shared knowledge. So other perspectives and ways of knowing can be shown through emotion, and that varies between people. Imagination is also present because the drug is present in a fictional show, so it allows the public and the viewers of the show to be thinking of how that could be considered into their everyday lives, or if it could help the current public. That also draws the question of them trying to use this drug for the everyday person to see if that can cause them to have these superhuman different perspectives. Faith is also present, as we have already discussed, that it has to be present not only between the scientists to have trust in each other and their roles and what they have learned, but also knowing that the public will have faith in the drug if that were to happen.
So the overall scientific procedure with discovering a new product begins with the overall idea of producing some kind of product to benefit society, in this case, the drug that stems from the CBS show. And then obviously the scientists have to produce some kind of prototype, test it out, have some kind of process where they are seeing trial and error, what could work, what benefits society, what society would think about it, just trying to make sure that what they're producing is worthwhile for them. And obviously the final process with the discovery is the overall product, which modafinil has not gotten to that stage yet where it has been considered a superhuman drug. It's just something that is a prototype, an idea they're currently working on, but many people in society are debating whether or not it should get to the product stage in the discovery process, because many people don't believe that there should be something so powerful in society and give people that much power to have cognitive enhancers and to be able to have such a great advantage over society.
There are many different perspectives when taking in account of the drug. It first started out with the people in the TV show and the producers of producing it for fictional use, and then it passed over to society for challenging that and offering that question of could this be offered to the everyday person. So after that, it then yielded over to the scientists of seeing if that's even possible. So like we said in the process before, the discovery and the production of the prototype at first, and then after the prototype, that will be then offered to the doctors, and the doctors will do different tests on that to see if it's possible for the drug to be in use. And so the society seems to have that fictional imagination way of knowing of this can help our society so much, whereas the scientists and doctors' perspective is more based off of the facts.
So we have to consider when talking about new products being introduced into society is how do we allow faith to take over our other methods of reasoning when we accept new technology or medical products into society? So this is going back to the discovery process we talked about earlier, and it all starts with the idea and the prototype essentially, because faith is really present in those two areas because you don't have a final product yet per se. So you keep installing your new knowledge, your previous knowledge into some product to make sure it's working, and you give it many trials and errors to see if society is benefiting from it, if it's working, if it's not working. So we take faith over any other way of knowing or any other method that we use, such as reasoning or anything else, because it's such a strong feeling that humans have, they're born with faith in many ways, whether it's religion or with science or whatever it may be. So faith is something that overarches over the other ways of knowing, specifically with a drug that hasn't yet been produced with a final product, such as the superhuman drug. And we have to also consider outside perspectives that affect the scientific discovery, which is present in any scientific discovery, because there will always be a certain population or portion of people who are going to go against what the scientists are producing, because there's always room for negative and positive opinions in a new product. And the science and medical field is rather transparent across the globe, so meaning that scientists all over the world can relate to this topic and can contribute similar ideas that are translatable throughout any language. So the roots of science are the same, and any scientist in any country can look at a textbook and understand what it means, because science doesn't change between country and country necessarily. So medicine and the history behind it stays true, and it translates across the globe, so many other scientists can offer their perspective as well. And here on this map we have some pinpoints where there are major scientific research areas, and this is just kind of showing the globalization of scientific and medical research. And as you can see, all these points, I mean, of course there are major points throughout each country, but they do have quite a distance, but somehow the scientific knowledge and the new discoveries seem to always make it back to another country and can somehow be translatable, and scientists talk about it and they discover new things and work together.
So discussing the knowledge question on a real life scale, there's something very similar going on, which is a deadly leukemia cells that are spreading, and so scientists brought this to their people that they're teaching and examining, and they were told to examine the cells blindly. So the scientists were not being told why they were examining them blindly, but it had occurred to them that they assumed the patients were dead that they were testing. Because oftentimes when testing a drug, it takes different stages of people as well as alive versus dead to see different stages of the leukemia cell and how it affected the people. So this makes them install faith in the scientists that they are learning from, and believing the fact that what they are telling them to do will help the population, and also that they are testing the facts truly. So when examining the cells, they would do it in a sense of belief and trust and understanding that what they're told to be done will help.
So overall, in the development of scientific research, faith overall plays a very huge role between the scientists and the community. And faith is installed throughout trial and error and the discovery process, which we discovered earlier with the idea, the prototype, and the product. And scientists have to be willing to use other methods of knowing, such as faith, rather than reasoning and mathematics, to prove something that's right. And they have to be able to do that to know that their product is truly going to work into society, such as the scientists trying to produce the fentanyl drug and introduce that to society and give a benefiting cause.